Hello, everybody. You can unmute yourselves if you'd like to say hi. We'd love to see your faces if you feel comfortable with sharing your video, your camera with us.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hello, everybody.
Wonderful. It's nice to see everyone. I anticipate we'll have a few more students signing in along the way. But we don't want to delay any further. We'll get started shortly. First, I'm just going to introduce myself. My name is Michele Rivas. I'm the Director of the Office of Graduate Academic Advisement and Student Development. And joining me today is Jessie. Jessie, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Jessie. I work with Michele, and I'm an academic advisor in Lubin Graduate Advisement.
We also have one of our fabulous colleagues who works in Lubin, Ana Donor Gonzalez. She's also a graduate student. She's joining us, just recording our workshop today. So if any students want to refer back to the workshop, you'll have a video recording to do that, okay? So I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna dive into the workshop. I do ask that you save your questions for the end, unless you really need an answer right away or you're afraid that you're going to forget your question. You can raise your hand or just type it in the chat box. And then at the end of the workshop, we'll dive into answering those questions for you. Okay. Just bear with me while I get the PowerPoint up. Okay, can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Everyone see the PowerPoint slide? Okay, excellent. All right, so as you know, we're the Lubin School of Business. I just want to take this opportunity to congratulate you all. Some of you may have joined us in either the Summer 1 or the Summer 2 session, and I assume the rest of you have been admitted for this upcoming fall semester. You probably have a lot of questions about the fall semester, so we'll do our best to answer those questions. If you, hopefully by now you received an email from us. The email would have come from gradadviseny@pace.edu, and it was a congratulatory email also sharing some information about orientation. So unlike our past semesters, we usually have an on-campus orientation event. But this upcoming fall, we wanted to keep everyone safe. And so we pre-recorded presentations that we would have had on campus at the orientation. So we pre-recorded all of those presentations and made them available to you. They are on our Graduate Advisement website. We will also upload them to Blackboard, and you'll all be added to the Blackboard course. So you'll have 2 different ways to access these videos. And then, as I mentioned, we're recording this live workshop, and we'll also make that available on both our Graduate Advisement website as well as Blackboard. So hopefully you got access to, you received that email. If you did not, send me a little chat and I'll make sure that we get that to you. If you could just provide your email address, that would be great. Okay, so let's see. So this is our staff. As I mentioned, I'm the director. Jessie is our academic advisor. Miss Sabrina Hines, you may have already been in touch with her by email or by phone if you've requested an appointment with an academic advisor. She's our office manager, and she really helps us out with managing our calendars, and she's a great resource if you have advisement related questions. She can answer a lot of the general questions. If it's more complicated or you really need to speak with an academic advisor, we're here to help you. Someone who is not on this slide is Harriet Fenner. Harriet is also working with us, assisting with academic advisement. So some of you may have already had a phone or a Zoom appointment with Harriet. So she is part of our team, just so you are aware. So we offer personalized support. So graduate academic advisors work individually with all of our MBA and MS students from the point of admission through graduation. And we help with a variety of different issues, program planning and registration for classes, and that can be fall, spring, summer, or even winter. It is something that students tend to do, change of program or major. So even if you come into your graduate studies and you're set on financial management, for example, or information systems, or customer intelligence and analytics, if you do decide maybe this isn't the right path for me, or you take a class and you fall in love with a completely different area, you can change your program or major, and we would assist you with that process. Also, substitution requests may come about. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a few slides. We also work with various graduate student clubs and organizations, as well as leadership development. So you can expect that as being a part of the Office of Graduate Academic Advisement and Student Development. We also manage a graduate assistantship and the placement for that program. And some of you may have applied for the GA position. And we also collaborate very often with our graduate admissions colleagues, with the Office of Student Assistance, financial aid, career services, especially international students and scholars. If you are an international student, we work very closely with the international student advisors to make sure that you're on the right track, as well as alumni relations. And lastly, well, last but not least, is our Lubin Awards Night and BGS induction ceremony. Hopefully you will strive to do your best throughout your graduate studies, and you may be at the Lubin Awards Night, which will happen in the spring semester. And this is an event where we recognize students who meet certain GPA requirements to be eligible for awards. And there's lots of different types of awards that you may be acknowledged for. Jessie, I think, is going to take over from here just for a couple of slides.
Great. So again, as Michele said, congratulations and welcome. So I'm going to go ahead here and talk a little bit about our MBA program. So this is right here, it's a little bit small, but as you can see, this is our MBA program worksheet. So this is just an example. So this is kind of how your MBA curriculum is going to be set up. So you have a core curriculum of 27 credits, which is 9 MBA courses. So anybody in the MBA program will all take these 9 courses. And then right under that, you have your concentration elective. So you have 9 credits of concentration elective, which is 3 courses. So these concentration electives will vary depending on which, what your program is within the MBA program, which concentration you decide. And then last but not least, we have our capstone, which is 3 credits. And again, all MBA students will take this capstone, and then this capstone will be taken in your last semester. So basically, there are no prerequisites for any of your MBA courses or any of your concentration electives, so you can take them in any order, just that your capstone needs to be taken in your last semester. Great, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about our MS programs. Right here on the right side is an example of our MS worksheet. So our MS programs vary depending on which program you're in, so there's not one specific like template for any of the programs. So the credits count will also vary depending on which program you're in. As you can see, for accounting, it can vary from 30 to 63 credits, depending. And then again, for all the other MS programs as well, it also varies. So separately, different from the MBA programs. For our MS programs, we have preliminary and prerequisite courses that will be MBA courses within your MS programs. That's why the course credits kind of vary depending on your program. You can be waived from some of these preliminary or prerequisite MBA courses, and I will talk a little bit about that later as well. Great, so here it is. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about the course waiver policy for MS programs. So again, this is only for the MS programs, not the MBA not the MBA program. So there are no preliminary and prerequisite courses within the MBA program, so there are no courses to be waived. So in order to get a waiver for the preliminary courses for the MS programs, you must have taken either 2 3-credit courses in your undergrad with at least a B, or 1 directly related graduate course, or have completed 15 or more credits within that discipline with satisfactory grades. So at graduate admissions, we'll review your undergraduate transcript or your previous graduate transcripts upon admission, and they will let us know if you are waived from any of these preliminary courses, but sometimes it could be missed. So if that does happen, then this is when you will submit a waiver request.
And you would submit that through our office?
Yes, you will submit that to us. Okay, and then, so this is our substitution policy. So substitutions are typically only granted 1 time. So usually students can request substitutions if there are scheduling conflicts, or if the student's last semester and a specific course is not being offered. Typically we do not approve substitutions if it's just, that's something that they are interested in or something they want to take. It's usually because of a conflict or something similar to that. And so substitutions will also be done through our office. So as you will learn, as you continue here at Pace, that we have a help desk system, which you can submit tickets. So you will submit a help desk ticket to request a substitution through here.
We can share instructions with you by email. We'll send a list of forms that you might need throughout your graduate studies, as well as instructions for submitting a help desk ticket. So we'll have that all available to you.
Great. So we also have a transfer credit policy. So if you've taken courses from another graduate institution, you do have the possibility of transferring those credits over to Pace. So you have a maximum of 6 credits that you can transfer over. So transfer credits are only for courses that are not the foundation or preliminary courses that I just talked about in the previous slides. So these will kind of be like your main courses within your program. So to be eligible, your graduate program must be taken at an AACSB accredited program. It must be directly related to the same graduate Lubin course within the program that you are enrolled in, and it must have been completed within the last 6 years and earn a B or better grade. So this is kind of the process of how to transfer your credits. So there are 2 ways. The first is if you are currently already enrolled in Lubin, you will complete a pre-approval transfer credit request form. So therefore, if you are going to go outside right now, maybe, I don't know, in the summer or something, you wanted to take a course at home, you can fill out this pre-approval transfer credit form. Or if you've already taken courses before enrolling here at Lubin and you want to transfer those credits over, then you would fill out a request for a graduate transfer credit form. And again, all those forms will be sent to our office, and they can be emailed to us at gradadviseny@pace.edu. And if you have any of these courses that you already have taken and you want to transfer them over, you can just send us an email and we can provide you these forms.
They're also on our graduate advisement website, but we're probably going to update that because some of the forms are a little outdated. So I'll be working on that over the next coming weeks. We don't expect you to remember all of this, but again, if you misplaced a form, you don't know where to get it, definitely reach out to us at Grad Advise New York and we can provide that for you. Okay. So I'm going to get into a little bit of the professional development opportunities at the Lubin School of Business. This is just kind of an overview. As I mentioned earlier, the Graduate Assistantship program. We have various graduate student clubs and organizations that you may want to get involved in. There are graduate student leadership workshops that we facilitate over the course of the fall and the spring semesters. There's also the Janet's Check Professional Development Fund. This is something important that you should be aware of. I will share the flyer with you with information that you can keep handy. And if you have something that comes up over your time in grad school that you think might qualify to apply for this fund, you can definitely reach out to me. And we also offer professional development workshops. We have co-curricular opportunities. If you're interested in doing an internship for credit, we can assist you with that process. And there are also international field study courses that might be of interest to you. They are faculty-led, and there's more information on the Education Abroad website. So you can take a look at what faculty-led courses have been offered in past semesters and what may be offered in the future. As of now, things are a little uncertain because of the coronavirus, but we do hope that we can offer those again in the not too distant future. So the Graduate Assistantship Scholarship Program has many benefits, professional and financial. So students will conduct research with esteemed faculty, develop projects that are relevant to the industry. You'll also enhance a wide range of your professional skills, as well as build and broaden your professional network. And the financial benefits are partial tuition remission, as well as a stipend, and the positions require up to 10 hours a week. And as I mentioned, many of you, if you apply to the university, you can indicate by checking off whether you're interested in applying for the Graduate Assistantship Scholarship. Your application materials go straight to our Lubin Grad Assist email account, and then there's a eligibility process that happens thereafter. So there are a limited number of graduate assistantships, and these are offered to highly qualified full-time students. I just want to stress that full-time status at the graduate level is 9 credits for the fall and the spring semester. So to be eligible for the graduate assistantship, you should have an undergraduate GPA of 3.0, graduate GPA of 3.5. That's if you're currently enrolled, you've already taken at least 1 semester of classes and you're applying thereafter, then that's what we would look at, that 3.5. Minimum GMAT score of 550, although some exceptions may apply. Minimum AWA score of 4.5. If relevant, minimum TOEFL score of 100. And as I mentioned again, you have to be a full-time student, so you'll want to be sure that you're registered for 9 credits in the fall or the spring. If you have any questions or need more information, you can email lubingradassist@pace.edu. We also have a graduate assistantship program webpage on the Graduate Advisement website, and there is a section with FAQs. So there's a lot of detail there, and that could probably answer many of the questions that you have about the process and the opportunities.
I also wanted to mention that for graduate assistantships, if you are receiving a scholarship, then you are unable to apply for a graduate assistantship unless you are foregoing your scholarship.
Mm-hmm. So this is a list of our graduate student organizations. We have the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants. Beta Alpha Psi is actually an honor society. Chinese Student and Scholar Association, Pace Graduate Finance Club, Human Resources and Talent Management Club, Lubin Graduate Marketing Society, Lubin Women in Leadership, Pace Indian Student Association, also known as PISA, Toastmasters International, and we have a new club that will be starting this upcoming fall, Pace Graduate Consulting Club. Jesse and I work with different student organizations and clubs. So depending on which club you're interested in joining, if you are interested in joining a club, then you would either be contacting Jesse or I for club advisement. I do want to mention that you don't have to be an accounting student to join Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, although you will find that that's pretty much all the students that are in that club. But For example, the Chinese Student and Scholars Association, you don't have to be a Chinese student to join. You don't have to be a marketing student to join Lubin Graduate Marketing Student Society. You don't have to be only female to join Lubin Women in Leadership. Actually, the club has a male that's in the club supporting them and taking on a leadership role. So these clubs and organizations are open to all graduate students, regardless of your major. And every semester, the clubs will send out a recruitment ad for open positions. So it's something that you might be interested in taking on, a leadership role. You can apply for president, vice president, director of social media, director of events position. This is something that would look great on your resume. You'll have opportunities to build skills and learn how to work as a team with your club e-board members. It's also a great networking opportunity, and you'll meet lots of professionals within the field because each club organizes events. They try to organize 2 to 3 events every fall and spring, and they're doing these events for you. So they're organizing these panel presentations. Sometimes they'll invite, a guest speaker from the field to present on a specific topic. Sometimes it's not always about work or academics. It can just be a social event that they're organizing, but they really are doing this to foster kind of an enriched graduate student experience. So whether you feel that you have the time to commit to an e-board member position or not, we do hope that even if you can't join the club in that type of capacity, that you'll at least attend one of their events, because I guarantee you'll really benefit from networking with your graduate student colleagues as well as professionals in the field. Okay. So I did cover a lot of this, but some of the student club initiatives and events are networking events, speakers from the industry, panel discussions, professional development workshops, social gatherings, industry and leadership conferences. So sometimes the clubs and organizations will coordinate a conference that they want to go to, or they'll do field trips to visit a company, and they'll do a tour of a specific company. One event that was really cool was the Lubin Graduate Marketing Society organized a field trip to Etsy. I don't know if you all know what Etsy is. That might be more common for girls rather than guys, but it's kind of like a online marketplace for shopping. But that was really cool. Pace Graduate Finance Club has organized tours of the stock exchange, and the list goes on. So really a great opportunity to get involved. And as I mentioned, the benefits for joining is to broaden your professional network at the panel discussions, competitions, speaker events, develop relationships with faculty, as well as your classmates within and across all of the disciplines. So this way you're not just networking with students in your current program and major, but you'll get to meet students throughout the Lubin School of Business. You'll gain knowledge of industry trends, acquire leadership positions, and develop professional skills. And as I mentioned, hopefully create a highly successful graduate student experience. Okay. So we also host professional development workshops throughout the fall and spring. Sometimes we facilitate these workshops on our own, and other times we'll work with other staff throughout the university to facilitate specific topics. So for example, we do have research skills workshops. So we'll do graduate assistantship and library research skills workshops. And those are not organized, but they're facilitated by one of our fantastic librarians. And we also have a financial literacy workshop that we have co-hosted in the past. That workshop is facilitated by my colleagues who are financial literacy counselors here at Pace University. We had recently a mindfulness workshop with Dr. Sophie Kaufman. We've done a Strengths Quest workshop, which was really great, and that was facilitated by the Assistant Director of the Student Development and Campus Activities Office here at Pace. I've facilitated the SMART goal setting workshops. I've done a few of those. I typically will gear that towards our graduate student clubs and organizations because it helps them to set goals for that semester and for the future semester for the organization. But any student is welcome to join if they think that it would benefit them. We've also had resume development workshops where our career services counselors will come to the Lubin School of Business and provide workshops in a smaller group setting. So most likely we will offer a lot of these workshops via Zoom as well. We find that it actually benefits to offer many workshops through Zoom because sometimes students have very busy schedules and they can't get from here to there. So you can, log in the comfort of your own home, or if you have a little bit of a break at work, you can log in and join us. And then, of course, we've had stress management workshops, succeeding in the U.S. classroom. There's plenty more topics that we've covered. And if you have any ideas for professional development workshops, and it doesn't even have to be professional development, it could be wellness related. If you have any ideas for topics for workshops that you'd like to see, reach out to us because we love brainstorming new ideas, and we really want to offer topics that are going to be of interest to you. So next is the Janet's Check Professional Development Fund that I mentioned before. So we provide funding to qualified Lubin graduate and undergraduate students who seek to develop professional competencies that complement their program of study. Some examples of successful applications for the Janet's Check Development Fund include industry relevant certifications, registration and travel for conference presentations, enrollment and travel to professional competitions that might be of interest to you over your time in the Lubin School of Business, business or technical skills training. If you want to attend a workshop that's off campus and there's a workshop fee, or if there's a short-term program that's going to support your academic and career-related goals. Again, that's something you can apply to for funding, and related co-curricular education, of course. I think you were gonna resume, Jessie, with the internship for credit.
Sure. So some of our programs have internship courses built into their program and some do not. And if they do not, you can work with us as well as the Career Services Center to help you gain internship for credit if that's what you need to do an internship. So you will have to pay that 1 to 2 credit fee for the course, and that will not be included in your curriculum if it's not already built in.
But you will notice that there are some courses like your marketing courses have, if you're a marketing major, you will have an optional internship for credit course. Again, it's optional, so you don't have to register for it. Accounting, if you're in the DAT program, Accounting, Data Analytics, and Technology, that's another program that has an optional built-in internship course. So you can receive 3 credits if you're in those programs and you want to do an internship. I think I was going to cover this one, right? So I'll talk a little bit about commencement and degree audit. Now, this is actually pretty important, and the reason is because oftentimes students don't know that they have to apply for graduation. They just assume, okay, it's my last semester, I've taken all of my classes, now I'm just going to automatically get my degree in the mail. It actually doesn't quite work that way. You have to apply for graduation because that application raises the flag to our Office of Student Assistant and says, hey, I'm graduating. So that way they can go into your records and verify that you've completed all of your degree requirements. So we recommend submitting the application for graduation in advance of your last semester. It oftentimes will take the Office of Student Assistance several months to review students' records, because you have to keep in mind there are thousands of students that are graduating in the same semester. So if you know that you're graduating in a spring semester, it's probably best to apply for graduation early in the fall, or yeah, I would say early in the fall, or even as early as the summer months. And if you're curious about perhaps extending your program, so let's say you think you're going to graduate in a spring semester, but then you decide, I'm gonna reduce my course load, and I'm gonna just save one last class for the following fall semester. That's totally okay. Even if you applied for graduation early, what would happen is the Office of Student Assistance, once they review your record, they'll see, oh, this student made some type of a change to their schedule, and they're actually not graduating when they said they would, so we're just going to move them to the next semester. But again, it's really important that you fill out that application, and you can do that by visiting the Office of Student Assistance website. There is a link that says apply for graduation. You would sign in with your username and password. It's an online only form. And the process is, once you submit that application, you will receive a confirmation email, and it comes from the help desk. So a help desk ticket is automatically created, and that help desk ticket will be sent to you by email, and that serves as your confirmation that your application has gone through. So when your application is reviewed and processed, an OSA, an Office of Student Assistance representative, will update the ticket and make a note just letting you know your application has been processed. But that doesn't mean that your degree audit has been processed. The degree audit is different from the application for graduation. So the degree audit can take some time. This can take several weeks or even a few months. But once the degree audit has been completed, you'll receive a follow-up email, and keep in mind these emails will go to your Pace email. So it's really important to check your Pace email regularly. But this degree audit email will be sent to your Pace email, and it will include an attached letter. And the letter will just verify you've completed all of your courses. If you're not quite yet ready, it will indicate you still have these courses remaining. If you see on your degree audit letter that something looks wonky or not right, then you'll definitely want to reach out to our office so that we can assist you with resolving that. Now, what happens after the degree audit is processed? Do you get your diploma right away? No, it doesn't work that way just yet. So you'll get your diplomas about a month and a half after your final grades are posted. So if your last semester is the fall or the spring, so let's just say the spring semester, your classes will end in May. When your final grades are posted, the Office of Student Assistance will go back into your records and finalize your degree audit. And then it would take about a month and a half before your diplomas are mailed to you. And they'll be mailed to the address you indicate on your application for graduation. If between the time you applied for graduation and the time you actually finish your degree requirements, if your address changes, I recommend going back to that help desk ticket confirmation and just replying and letting them know, letting the Office of Student Assistance know that your address has been changed so that they can mail your diploma to the correct place. Again, we don't expect you to remember all of these details, but I decided to include this information because we often receive a lot of questions around this and a lot of confusion from students. So hopefully this clarifies what that process looks like. And again, you can always make an appointment to meet with us if you'd like to review your academic profile and make sure that you're on track to graduate on time. Oh, so here's just a little screenshot of the Office of Student Assistance webpage. And you can see when you visit their webpage, there's a few different boxes here with helpful links. So this middle, the top middle box is titled Registration and Graduation. So the Apply for Graduation link is here. And then this link has graduation information. Now there's a lot of details on that web link, but I highly recommend reading it through and looking over the commencement information if you do have questions about the commencement ceremony, when it's going to be held, how to order your cap and gown, and how many tickets you might get for your family. So we've come to the end of the PowerPoint, and this is how you can contact us. We are not physically at the New York City campus, as you know. We are working remotely. We are available by phone, by Zoom, by email, and our phone number is still active. So if you'd like to call us to schedule an appointment, you can reach us at 212-618-6440, or you can email gradadviseny@pace.edu. Other than that, our physical office is located in One Pace Plaza on the 4th floor in Section E, but we are not currently there. So if you do have questions, just reach out to us by phone or email.